the greatest country music in all time, died on May 23rd.
That President Trump has said a deal is close, only for the two sides to remain far apart.
No.
That President Trump has said a deal is close, only for the two sides to remain far apart.
No.
Attempt to make 9/11 about Islamophobia. But the nerve of him trying to take 9/11 and make it about Islamophobia is so galling. Okay, my team put this together because, I was at Fox News. I started at Fox News. I started news in 2003 in Washington, D.C., which was also hit on 9/11. And I started at Fox in 2004, so 3 years after 9/11. And a lot of my colleagues, like Greg Kelly, were over there on tanks reporting as we were, invading, and covered so many deaths of American service personnel who went over there and sacrificed everything in these wars. That's what 9/11 is about. What happened that day with the 2,977 people killed, and the firefighters and the cops especially, but everyone, and then all of the U.S. service personnel who were killed, thousands of them in the years thereafter. He gets up there and wants to make about Islamophobia for a fake aunt. So we pulled this because every year we cover 9/11 and we give it its due because
that President Trump has said a deal is close, only for the two sides to remain far apart.
No.
I was just curious, is anybody that's in charge of the FIFA World Cup, are you even remotely paying attention to what's going on in Seattle? Katie lived in her mom's basement, Wilson. She doesn't want cops to arrest anybody doing open air drugs. Everybody's camped out, pissing and shitting all over Seattle. But you guys are going to bring a couple teams here, and they're going to slap a pride flag on your team and call it the pride match, even though the countries that are coming do not even remotely recognize the LGBTQRS LMNOP club. FIFA, what are you thinking? Seattle doesn't deserve the World Cup.
That President Trump has said a deal is close, only for the two sides to remain far apart.
No.
Guys, this is major breaking news about the Black Hawk helicopter that flew into the airplane in DC in January. The female pilot in this crash was reportedly given several warnings to turn, but she did not. New details have emerged about Rebecca Lobach, who was the female co-pilot of this Black Hawk helicopter. Her male co-pilot told her to turn away multiple times, meaning that they identified the American Airlines flight carrying those 64 people. Also meaning that she ignored his requests and orders to turn. On Sunday, the New York Times released new details, stating that co-pilot directly told her to turn away. They said not only was the Black Hawk flying too high, but in the final seconds before the crash, its pilot failed to heed a directive from her co-pilot, an Army instructor, to change the course. The Black Hawk was 15 seconds away from crossing paths with the jet. He told her he believed that air traffic control wanted them to turn left towards East River Bank. If they would have turned left, it would have opened up more space between the helicopter and this American Airlines flight. She didn't turn left, though. Now, as you guys know, it took quite a while before they would release Rebecca Lobach's name.
Ivar Stenberg, I just wouldn't pass him up. I think he's got an elite production profile over there in Sweden. He's got a really likable all-around game. We're seeing him produce points at the World Championships for Sweden. And I put it this way. I think Stenberg is closer to McKenna than
Yes.
Stenberg is to anybody else in that next tier. Like, I think it's a tier one with those two wingers at the top. And I hear people say that like centers and defensemen are more valuable. So you see teams reach for them. And that's true. Like we, as a pattern, we do see centers probably go a little bit higher than they should. And same thing with defensemen. But I think if you're in the Canucks shoes, that would be a mistake because you kind of need everything right now.
That how burial grounds, members of the United States Armed Forces, veterans, and fellow citizens, today here at Arlington, a very special place, that how burial grounds, battlefields across the country and around the world, we unite in solemn observance. With reverent hearts, we honor those who fell so that our republic might stand.